Good morning, everybody. It's, let's see, 7:27 a.m., May 25th, 2023. Sorry for how yesterday was cut short due to that phone call, but the exciting thing is it was a local solar distributor returning my phone call with great news. I'd like to share with you what happens when you sell a home and you end up with a lot of cash and then you open a new bank account. I opened a bank account with a very prominent bank and deposited a very large sum of money in it to get a debit card so that I could make online purchases like at Amazon and so on. I was going to order my solar kit through Amazon. It was going to cost like $8,000. Well, yesterday in the morning, I went to pay for something that was a little over $1,000 and it was denied. Even though hundreds of thousands of dollars in a bank account, yet for me to make a purchase over $1,000 was denied. I hit this before when I put new tires on everything because I needed heavy loaded tires, heavy rated tires. And so I'd contact the bank, had them switch it to $10,000 per day limit. Well, I find out yesterday that that didn't go through. It was denied because banks have a system that if you deposit a very large sum of money, even though it's your money, cash that you deposited, for 90 days, they will not allow you to take out through a debit card or make purchases with a debit card over $1,000 a day. Literally, you cannot spend your money more than $1,000 a day for the first 90 days. They say, oh, it's for fraud prevention. It's because they're, using fear to hang on to your money. So, but I find the positive. So the positive was, okay, well, then I guess I just pull out all my money and keep dealing with everything in cash. Now you view the downside is, well, you can't buy things off Amazon, which is true, and initially it did feel like that's a speed bump. But then I got to thinking, well, I don't really have an address anyway, and I never will. So that's difficult with Amazon. I can make it work though, but then I thought even more so. Where I'm at right now, ironically, I have ran into 30 plus people that I've known over the last like 25 years, random people, but I instantly recognize them and I instantly remember where I knew them from. This morning happened to be a guy that managed a barbecue place that I ate at a couple times, and I only met him one time, but I knew and remembered exactly all of our interaction. He was blown away. And ironically, he's the first person that I've talked to that gets it 100%. Everything I said to him, he's like, oh my gosh, you were dead on. And there were a lot of things he hadn't thought of that he totally agreed with. And I said before in the beginning of my documentary that the first ability I achieved was, or not even achieved, because it's not that way. The first ability came into the knowing of was my ability to talk to your brain using your God's words to where your brain will be able to understand exactly what I'm saying. I can explain it without shutting your brain down, without kicking in the self-defense. As I speak, your brain won't have anything it doesn't agree with unless it's something that somebody else has told you. And if I'm talking and you're thinking about something you don't agree with, well, people, the truth of the matter is you're actually not listening to me. Because instead of listening to the words I say, you're thinking. kind of like we do in the average relationship. That's why relationships have such a high fail rate. But I'll pick up what I was getting ready to get into about what Benton County Health Services. Well, as soon as I get a chance, we'll get back into that. We'll get back into getting all the negative to recognize itself. I'm not going to get into the family much. I've already gotten them to recognize. I will, though, be discussing Ashley Strobel. This is the person that I still truly love with my whole being. Not in some weird, creepy way like I'm going to stalk her or anything. I haven't even contacted her. But it's still a person. I truly believe in her soul. Way, way, way more than she does. And the reason why I'll be discussing her, not today, but in the near future, is because realize I packed up, gave away everything, scrambled to get out of my house as quick as I could and get into my house of truths. Keeping bare minimum, because I can't haul much weight. As I was reorganizing, I came across a couple pages of paper. I have no clue where they came from. I've never seen them before in my life. But it happens to be exactly how Ashley's childhood timeline, how it was. And this was the first time I had read this or even seen it. People, I wanted to puke. I literally did. I dry heaved. And then I started bawling. Because sure, you guys can think that Ashley, not once, but multiple times, have done everything she could to destroy my life because she believes I'm a bad person. She believes all the lies that are in her head, in her illusion, and it's not her fault at all. I will be sharing with you the timeline. You might think it's not my right. Well, guess what? It is my right. It's my right because I love myself unconditionally, undeservingly. Therefore, it requires me to love everybody the same way. And especially Ashley. Because I do not blame her for any of her actions. When I share this timeline with you, you guys are going to want to puke too. Because I still saw love and I still believe in her. Because you know what? For her to have an ounce of love, to have an ounce of kindness, anything is a miracle. Because of how she was treated by the system, how she was treated by this world, is literally a living hell. It's the truth. But the reason why I'm going to be sharing this with you is realize everything I share with you, even though you might think, oh, you're not going viral, you know what? It will when I say it will. And what I'm doing right now is I'm collecting all the video footage. At some point, I'll edit. At some point, I'll number, put them in order, and so on. Right now, I'm doing the unscripted work. Just talking straight from my heart to you guys. And honestly, I feel that's the most valuable information you can get. So, to give you an idea of what my life is like now, being fully conscious and I just really, really, really wish you guys could be at the same spot I am. Realize, I don't accept the negative, I only accept the positive. I recognize the negative, find the positive in it. Think about that. Truly think about that. I only accept the positive. That means I can never screw up. I can never have a bad day. I can never be hurt. Physically, or emotionally. I can never be disappointed. Everything goes exactly how it's supposed to be. All things are positive. All the stuff that I said at the very beginning of the documentary. I also told you I knew how this story goes because I knew it's already been written and I knew you guys were writing it. As far as, you've seen me do things that should be impossible in my documentary. Um, that was nothing compared to how I am now. I know you guys are going to think I'm insane. I know you guys aren't going to believe what I say, but that's okay. That's your right. You have a choice to listen, to believe, no problem. My rest of my life is simply just to give you that choice. Give you an opportunity to gain your consciousness, to be one with your God. If you think I'm crazy and you think I'm lying or anything like that, I accept that. It doesn't even bother me. I just feel pure love and grace in my heart. The fact that I have the opportunity to help people gain true peace and, in essence, enter heaven on earth if they want to. All you have to do is let go of the fear. Let go of the fear and just love yourself. Because if you have fear, you're not truly loving yourself unconditionally, undeservingly. In all actuality, you're feeling sorry for yourself. And that's the illusion, looking at the negative first. You guys know I have no comfort for myself. I love that. It's amazing. My life is so simple. I truly, truly feel blessed. Majority of my thought during the day when I'm working, and trust me, I work sunrise to sunset. I feel this constant urgency in my heart. Every time I think, oh, well, shoot, I could chill, I could go have a nice dinner, I can do whatever I want. But then I think about 8 billion people in this world. And remember, I know the dates. You guys still don't believe I do, but, I've predicted it already, and it came true. So, whether you believe or not, I accept that. But I can't rest because I know that if I get distracted or if I rest, that's hurting somebody. Somebody in this world could have the opportunity to gain their consciousness that's not getting, the opportunity. That's why I will not enable anybody to talk about the negative anymore. I would love to have a conversation with people, but as soon as you start talking about the negative, I'm going to shut you down because I'm not going to enable you because I love you. I'm not going to let you keep lying to yourself anymore. Now, granted, hey, I spend a lot of time alone. On the average day, I'll have 30 people come up to me and start talking to me, and all curious about, oh, what you got going on, yada, yada, yada. First thing I ask them, well, first thing I need to know is how much you want to know. And they laugh, oh, yeah, I want to know it all. I'm like, no, I'm serious. How much do you really want to know? I mean, because I literally will make you shit your pants if I tell you the whole story. And they're like, oh, yeah, I can handle it. So I start in. Within 3 to 5 minutes, like clockwork, everyone, hey, well, I got to get going. I got a lot of stuff to get done. They don't disagree. Every single one says, wow, that makes sense, and I never thought of that. But then their fear, their illusion kicks in, and it's like, something ain't right here. We need to go. And it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't bother me. At times, I kind of chuckle. You might think, well, man, that means you're going to be alone the rest of your life. Unless I find my soulmate that truly loves herself, yes, I will be. But the truth is, I'm not lonely. I have so many conversations, and they're with myself. Realize I said in the beginning of the documentary, it's like I have two brains, my conscious and my illusion. My conscious is the 90%. The illusion, your brain, is the 10%. So I actually will be working away and just start chuckling because my physical brain, my illusion, that's the one doing all the mechanical stuff. I mean, and hey, I'm very well trained in pretty much everything when it comes to construction, electrical, plumbing, all of this. So what a huge resource, and military experience and combat experience and raising daughter experience and having a mentally ill mother experience and having multiple mentally ill relationships with women. Wow. That is an amazing resource of knowledge. And guess what? I know all the negative that I thought in those relationships, but now I realize it wasn't negative at all. It was all positive because now I see all the real truths. And the amount of wisdom you gain from that is very empowering. And all I want to do is help all of you achieve it. Unconditional, undeserving love for myself, which requires me to give you unconditional, undeserving love. I recognize the negative. I find the positive in it. And then I get the negative to recognize itself. Negative and negative becomes a positive, basic math. This really isn't difficult at all. It's incredibly simple. All you have to do is lose the fear. One of my viewers, who's dear to my heart, I consider him a brother, he's starting to achieve abilities. He really is. No bullshit, no lies. And I told him, I can get you there really freaking quick to be where I'm at. And I don't judge. I totally get it. I totally understand, because I don't know if anybody in the world is strong enough to go through what I went through, to deliberately allow everybody to destroy your life and not fight back dirty. I did absolutely nothing dirty towards anybody. Sure, at times I had to imply that I was going to do something. That was in self-defense, to get them to back off. I even told my youngest daughter that, because she showed up unannounced and refused to even apologize for what they'd done, even though they all knew about the legal mental health assessment that was going to be done and so on. But not a single one will apologize to me. Say that, hey, we admit what we did was wrong. We should have just asked. We should have just, listened. Nobody will say that. And I get it. But I had to tell my youngest daughter that everybody knows we have had the closest relationship. I mean, I've saved her life a couple times. And I had to tell her, please do not stop by unannounced again. And please recognize that I'm getting ready to start filing a slew of lawsuits against the 7 key family members for the civil suits that I could have against them is through the roof, and they all know it by now. Surely, if you have any intelligence, you know it. And if you're related to me, I know you have intelligence, so quit bullshitting yourself. and realize that even simply knowing about the plan for the illegal mental health assessment, even simply knowing that things were going on behind my back that led to burglaries and attempts on my life, makes you criminally negligent. But hey, the cops won't do nothing about that. But guess what? Civil, burden of proof is even lower. But I don't want to harm anybody. All I want you to do is recognize how much you harmed me so that you can grow and learn and gain your consciousness. That's all. It's still, still just awestruck how not a single member in my family has stepped back and realized, oh my God, he was telling the truth from the very beginning. Every single thing he said came true. From the very beginning, I predicted the cops being at my house. I mean, in the very beginning of the documentary, I had on my front door, the only ones I'm willing to speak to are President Joe Biden or Elon Musk. Because I know what needs to happen. And here we are several months later, multiple attempts on my life. I've given away every ounce of everything I own. I've created a house of truths. I've dedicated the rest of my life to give you guys unconditional and deserving love, to try to help you gain your consciousness so that you can be one with your God before December 24th of 2024. I've been open. I've been transparent. I've been diligent on recording everything so that you can see. But your Bibles say, hey, you won't know the dates. You won't know what it looked like. You don't know. Okay, true. Nobody can convince you. Nobody can wake you up unless you choose that you want to wake up and believe in the positive. Believe in love. Believe in the truth between you and your God. That's all there is. And I literally want absolutely nothing from you. I don't even care if we ever meet in person, because I know we're already one. I see it all clearly. You guys don't, though, because you're still in the illusion. Kind of like some trippy Matrix movie or something, huh? More truth to that than you understand. And I respect that. Anyways, back to my solar, and back to the positive about the bank not wanting to allow me to spend my money, through my debit card. So I pull out cash, and I call local, and I connect with an amazing local solar distributor that just so happens to have exactly what I need, and only exactly what I need, for my trailer. And it's all used, but they spec'd it out, checked it, and it's all still working like brand new. And I'm going to get it at a lot reduced rate. Even my solar generator, which is huge battery bank, has been a demo. So I even get that cheap. I am so thankful. A lot of the thought that I have in my head, conversation with myself, which is incredibly healthy, checking in with yourself, with your spiritual side, and seeing how much of the illusion you're allowing yourself to be exposed to is healthy. I'd say the most common thing I say to myself, and when I say to myself, to my inner being, my consciousness, my synergy, my being one with my God, I just keep saying thank you. There is so many things over and over and over again that happen that I just say thank you. For example, I can be working and have a screw in my hand and be like, oh shoot, I don't need that screw. wait a minute, okay, how's the positive that I have a screw that I didn't need? And I just kind of chew on that and go to set it down to grab a different screw, style of screw that I need. And as I set it down, I see the part that 10 minutes ago I was looking for. But I stopped looking for it because I knew everything's exactly how it's meant to be, therefore I'll see it when I need it. It's literally that simple. As soon as you take away your expectations and just be present, everything starts popping. And it is amazing. Now, things that you might think are negative. Or your brain's going to want to say, oh no, he has COVID. I do not have stinking COVID. I'm incredibly healthy, probably the healthiest I've ever been in my entire existence. But taste. I forced myself to eat. I've dropped a tremendous amount of weight, not because I'm starving myself, not because I'm depressed by any means, but because I listen to my body. My body tells me what I need. Shoot, I've eaten and drank some things that normally I would have been like, what? No, maybe I am losing my mind. But my taste buds, things that taste good, are what I need. Things that I don't need have no flavor. Taste bland, taste blah. I know that sounds weird, but it's the raw, honest truth. What still really surprises me is I'll be working and I could like hit my knuckle on something and think, oh boy, that's gonna be a cut. I'm gonna have to go treat it. And I'll look at my hand and there won't be any cut. And the pain goes away virtually instantaneous. And then I look at that and I think, okay, the positive of the pain is reminding me to slow down. When I work now, I work slower. Every single movement is thought, is planned out. Because I now have two sides analyzing every ounce of everything that's going on and working, coinciding together in balance. So when I'm moving around in this confined space in here, I don't knock anything over. I don't spill things. Everything just kind of flows. Now, granted, I might appear at times like a sloth moving around. Well, guess what? All my movements are controlled. All my movements are kind of precision. And what's even better is that is like the best form of yoga that you can possibly do. I am connected to every muscle in my body when I move. I go slowly as I'm stepping over stuff. When I get up in the morning, I do not pamper my body. I allow myself to feel everything I am meant to feel to let me know, okay, hey, do more of this type of work. And since I've been doing this, since I've been in confined spaces in weird, my flexibility has increased tremendously. My muscle tone has increased tremendously, become more ripped. I'm not working out. I'm just simply being. And I'm getting in better and better shape. To those of us who are obese, let's be real. I love you guys. I think you're all beautiful, just the same. But let's please stop lying to ourselves. Sure, we can use thyroid, we can use medical conditions, we can use medicines, we can use whatever bullshit excuse we want to use to justify to ourselves. But if we truly step back and think, we're feeling sorry for ourselves. You don't get this without doing this. Plain and simple. If you have a overpowering urge to keep doing this, sweeties, step back and start loving yourself. Realize you're eating your pain. You're eating feeling sorry for yourself. You are self sabotaging. You know you are. People who are obese, and I don't judge. I love. I love you even more because I know you're closer to finding your consciousness because you are so unhappy. There isn't a person in this world that isn't obese that if you look truly at their soul, truly at whether or not they're happy, they can't be happy. Your body is your temple. Your body is one with God. So when you mistreat it and abuse it, neglect it, and all the things that we do, don't lie to yourself, because the truth is you're not happy. If you were happy, your body would look exactly how you want it to look. Now, all the mothers in this world that have had, trauma to their body from giving childbirth, stretch marks, loose skin, whatever. Look at it. Love it. These cells have stayed connected together to keep you alive until you gain your consciousness. So love the body you have, whether you've had trauma to it. Because from this point forward, the more you love yourself, the better your life is going to become. The more hatred you feel, the worse your life is going to become. The more you judge other people, the worse your life is going to become. The more you give grace to other people, the better your life becomes. It is your choice on whether you want to live heaven on earth or whether you want to live the rest of your existence as a prisoner of your own guilt. Simple choice, right? But it's one you guys are having a really hard time making. You know? I love you guys. I don't feel sorry for you. Because it's your choice. And I've even told you that I can get you to where I am without you even having to feel any pain, without you even having to go through what I go through, what I went through. I already did the legwork. I already figured it out how to do it. And I don't want you to have to feel what I felt. I don't want your family to do to you what my family did to me, or the state, or so on and so on. All I want to do is help you find your peace. And hopefully, maybe someday, once you found your peace, we will meet again in a simple handshake or a simple I love you from one person would make all of this worthwhile. But what blows my mind, my physical mind, is all of you are so caught up in the negativity that you really don't even understand what's going on. You really don't even realize that you're listening to or viewing, because you're not listening, viewing a person that has dedicated the rest of my entire existence simply out of helping you gain unconditional, undeserving love for yourself, because I know once you've done that, you will have it for everybody else. And once we get this chain effect, domino effect, slinky effect, whatever you want to call it, once it gains momentum, it's unstoppable. Those of you that take the time to even read, or watch through a full episode, which incredibly small number of you, I know it's irreversible. Your God's words have already gotten into your brain enough to where it is starting to question every ounce of memories it has. Because guess what? Every single one of them has the slightest bit of lie in it. And that's my key. All I have to do is hear someone talk. As soon as I hear them talk, I know their lies. I know what they're hiding from. And all I want to do is help them love themselves. How can you hate that? How can you not support that? I don't know. I don't know how you can, but that's your choice. So be it. Just like, how can you think I'm mentally ill? I'm talking strictly about unconditional and deserving love, all positive. You can't, but you will. That's okay. Because, honestly, I only need me. I only need to be one with my God. Because all the rest of this is kind of bullshit anyway. We come in by ourselves, we go out by ourselves. Wake up, people. When you say love, you have no clue what love is. You've never truly loved anything in your entire existence if you think about unconditional, undeserving love. That's a hard one to swallow, isn't it? That's why I cried when I explained to my daughters that I was sorry for not teaching the most important thing in the world. But unfortunately, they saw that as a mental illness, and that's what pushed them to be part of forcing the illegal mental health assessment. But like I said, I keep my word. Samaritan Health Services, Mary's Peak Physicians. You guys are on the burner. You play God with people's lives, and you judged me when you had absolutely zero right to judge me, and you caused me harm, and now you're hiding behind your fear. But I get the negative to recognize itself because I love you guys too. And this one's going to be interesting though. And unfortunately, I'm afraid it's going to take some very painful things for you guys before you recognize that, okay, now's the time to tell the truth. Because you guys have a very hard time telling the truth. Corvallis Police Department, thinking of you guys, but I'm backing off you. I understand. I know why. Attorney General, I know why. Mayor, Governor, I know why you guys don't speak with me. It's your own fear, and I understand. But Samaritan Health Services and Mary's Peak Physicians, you have people's lives in your hands. You have an ability that you do not deserve because you have no integrity. If you can't be honest about this, how many mistakes do you make in the emergency room that cost people their lives that you lie about, that you hide behind? I mean, think about the malpractice. Every single one of you that interacted with me when I went into the emergency room and you did the illegal mental health assessment and assaulted me and took my blood. Every single one of you, hands down, I have a civil suit against you for malpractice against your license. Even Mary, the initial nurse, you didn't even check me in normal procedure. And you kept denying when I said, why am I in the mental ward? I do not approve this. Lies, 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 you guys. I just want you to come clean. If you have any desire to save your career or save the corporations whatsoever, I would be emailing trentsuing@gmail.com as one word, lowercase, TRENTSUING.com, or at gmail.com. I would be emailing me right away apologizing and requesting that we come to a settlement agreement. That's the smartest thing in the world you could possibly do, because if you do that, the negative has recognized itself and I can forget about you guys. but your own fear and your illegitimate attorneys that are advising you not to even acknowledge what I'm saying to be true, they're the people that's going to destroy your corporation. They're the people that's only looking at the negative when all along I've said I just want to have a sit down, have a conversation with you. I want to teach you how not to do this again. But you don't love yourself enough to have a little faith that maybe I'm telling the truth. Instead, you act childish, cowardly, and you hide behind your lies. Think about that until the next time. I love everybody. I'm at total peace. I'm happy. By no means am I suicidal or would I cause harm to anybody. I just want to give love. Please take today and force yourself, whenever you get anxiety, whenever you get angry, whenever you feel sad, force yourself to find something positive in that negative that you're thinking about. Please, please, please. You're going to see it's a chain reaction. You only have to do it yourself, force yourself to do it for a couple days, and then all of a sudden the brain starts doing it automatically, and it's exponential, and it just starts popping. It's literally that simple, people. I've nothing to gain. I've given up everything. All because I love you enough to help you. And and the truth is because I love myself enough. And the reason why I love myself enough is because my God loves me unconditionally, undeservingly. And my God has all along. And I see it so perfectly clear. All the negative I went through in my life was actually a positive to get me to where I am right now. It's freaking amazing. Ashley, I told you way back, all this negative you've had to experience in yourself, as soon as I get you to wake up, as soon as you choose to wake up and be one with your God, your energy, your ability is out of this world. I still believe in you. I know you think I'm mental. You think I'm a piece of shit or whatever. I accept that. That's not going to stop me from loving you. Unconditional, undeservingly, from the beginning to the end. Otherwise, you're feeling sorry for yourself. You guys have a great day. I love you. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.